Welcome to your region this week. I'm Anandi Carol Woolery. A measles outbreak has been declared in the Haldimand, Norfolk area. In this episode, public health officials provide information about this highly contagious disease. It's been a week of navigating snow and slush-covered roadways. We get winter driving tips from CAA, and a Golden Hawks player is showcasing his skills south of the border, making him the first Canadian quarterback to be invited. But first, here's a look at the headlines. The writ has dropped, and for the first time in more than a century, Ontario is holding a winter election. Voters will cast their ballots on February 27th. Rogers TV will be broadcasting local debates. Stay tuned for updates. Guelph-based Linamar is investing $1 billion in expanding its operations across the province, creating more than 2,300 jobs. A move that hopes to further secure Ontario as a leader in the development and manufacturing of electric and hybrid vehicles. Linamar has locations across North America, Europe, and Southeast Asia, and employs more than 33,000 people globally. Earlier this week, BWXT Canada in Cambridge announced it will manufacture steam generators for the refurbishment of the Pickering Nuclear Generating Station. It will also produce the reactor pressure vessel for the first small modular reactor in the G7 at Darlington. The $1 billion deal is expected to create over 350 new jobs.
We are fortunate to be able to see the demand coming, and so we are expanding to meet, what in part what we announced yesterday, which was about $1 billion in contracts for the type of products that we manufacture for nuclear power plants here in the province, but also we export around the world. So what we announced yesterday was that as part of the life extension of the Pickering nuclear plant, they are replacing a number of the components and equipment at that facility. And key components are the steam generators. This is where the steam is created that then powers the turbine and generates electricity. And so that's what we do here. We design and manufacture these very large components, and we're pleased to be able to have a contract for 48 of those steam generators for Pickering. So that's a majority of what was announced. We are hiring, so we're actually looking for steel workers, and these are skilled welders, fitters, machinists, non-destructive testing type skills. So absolutely are looking for more staff to join us.
Drake fans may soon be able to earn a university credit. Wilfrid Laurier University in Waterloo is offering a course called Hip Hop Publics. The course description says it will focus on Drake to explore hip-hop in Canada, its underground and commercial successes, and the intersection of hip-hop and public discourse in Canada.
Waterloo Regional Police are currently investigating 4 daytime residential break-ins in Kitchener and Cambridge. On January 21st, between approximately 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., an unknown suspect or suspects gained entry to 4 homes in the area of Thomas Lee Drive in Kitchener and the area of Dundas Street South and Beaverdale Road in Cambridge. Once inside, the suspect stole property and fled the area. Investigators are looking to identify and speak with this individual pictured in connection with the investigation. Police are asking residents to check their home security cameras for any suspicious people or vehicles in the area during this time. Leave a tip with Crime Stoppers in one of 3 convenient ways: the toll-free number of 1-800-222-TIPS, a secure anonymous online tip with WaterlooCrimeStoppers.com, or by mobile phone at p3tips.com.
Coming up, a measles outbreak declared and more cases are expected.
During the course of this outbreak, which we're dealing with here, is what is the concern that the general public may have with regards to this? And I think Dr. Tran has already sort of outlined the fact that it's a highly contagious disease.
Hey folks, it's me, Giovanni Petiti, the host of Not Tonight. It's the new late night talk show right here on Rogers TV. We got fabulous guests, a lot of laughs. It's just like the Jimmy Kimmel Show, if you order the Jimmy Kimmel Show on Wish. So join me Sunday at 10 o'clock right here on Rogers TV. Nice.
Our ancestors came here from France to build a better life. We lived here happily for generations. Until the British decided they wanted our land. The men were called to a meeting and then imprisoned. They demanded we swear an oath to their king and took everything, regardless. We were forced from Acadie, the only home we knew. Mon Acadie n'existera plus.
From 1755 to 1763, over 10,000 Acadians were ripped from their homeland. Despite this, Acadian culture endures in Atlantic Canada.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Measles outbreaks declared by Southwestern and Grand Erie health units. Health officials are urging everyone to keep up with their vaccinations. Southwestern Public Health and Grand Erie Public Health held a joint news conference. Here's some of that presser.
We have two areas, generally the Brantford area and also the Haldeman Norfolk area under the Grand Erie flag. And basically, at this point in time, we're seeing a lot of activity down here, particularly in the Haldeman Norfolk area. At this point, we've got 16 cases in total. 15 are associated with Haldeman Norfolk, 1 associated with Brant. And of those cases, 3 are adults and 13 are children. But having said that, we are cautious that we think we have more coming in. So that number may change later today. I think some of the questions that have been posed, certainly to me, during the course of this outbreak, which we're dealing with here, is what is the concern that the general public may have with regards to this? And I think Dr. Tran has already sort of outlined the fact that it's a highly contagious disease. And in the statistical area, we talk about a basic reproduction number. And the basic reproduction number basically, in simple terms, is if we parachuted an infected person into a susceptible group, how many people would they infect? And that is called the basic reproduction number. And for measles, it's very high. It's 12 to 18. Which means to say that if we had those people, if we had someone in an unimmunized or susceptible group, they are potentially going to infect 12 to 18 people. So I can't emphasize more the contagiousness of this disease and the fact that we should take as many precautions as we can. That, of course, includes, as Dr. Tran has outlined, making sure that our immunization status is up to date. Certainly, it's been calculated that even with 1 dose, that may give up to 85% immunity. And with 2 doses, we consider that it's 100% immunity.
Certainly the measles vaccine, containing vaccines, which is generally under like an MMR vaccine, is really safe and effective. I mean, unfortunately, measles is so infectious. The good thing is that we have an excellent vaccine against measles. 2 doses of measles containing vaccine, it provides almost 100% protection. And that's, higher than like many other vaccines that aren't as effective. So I think I do want to highlight how critically important it is for those who are able and interested to be vaccinated to be up to date.
We would encourage people, especially in the areas where these outbreaks are occurring, or the cases are occurring, that they should really check their vaccination records and make sure that they've had their 2 doses. And if they haven't, then they should look to improving that by getting a dose. And as Dr. Tran said, it's very important not to spread this disease, and because it is so contagious, that if anyone feels they're exposed, they really should stay home, avoid high-risk settings, and that would be doctors' offices, childcare facilities, hospital emergency rooms, etc. And if they really feel that they're having symptoms, then they should really isolate themselves at home for around 21 days. And the symptoms that they should be looking for is a red rash, fever, cough, runny nose, upper respiratory type symptoms, along with red eyes and fatigue, and a high temperature, of course. Adults born before 1970 are considered immune, so they're not at risk. But the rest of the population, depending on their immune status, would be considered at risk in this area. So we were normally, when this started, we were looking at this being just a cluster of cases that were occurring predominantly in an unimmunized group. But we've now moved to calling it an outbreak because of the numbers that are very rapidly increasing, and the numbers that we think are going to continue to increase. So that's where we are in the Grand Erie area, and particularly the Halterman Norfolk area, which is the most impacted. I think that the only effective method of preventing this disease is by vaccination that we have at the moment. And although complications to measles in young children is fairly uncommon and rare, or has been up until now, I think that if we can prevent one serious illness or even one death from a child by vaccinating the population and trying to get as near to the herd immunity status as we can, and for those that are not familiar with herd immunity, basically if the percentage of the population is immunized is high, up in the 90% area, then the chances of coming into contact with someone who has active measles is lowered. And even if they do, then they would be immunized, etc. So that's the herd immunity idea. And of course, from a public health standpoint, this is what we try to do with all vaccine preventable diseases, is to try to get the community up to a herd immunity level. It's important that people realize that if they choose not to be vaccinated and increase their susceptibility to these childhood diseases, I think they're putting children at risk. And of course, from a public health perspective, our main reason for being is to prevent communicable disease. And I think there's been a growth of people not worrying about childhood diseases so much, because I think The population has been fairly well covered for several decades prior, and they haven't seen these illnesses. And of course, we haven't seen the complications because we haven't had them. But those complications still exist, rare though they may be, and but they can be significant and lead to serious lifelong illnesses. So I think the message is, from a public health standpoint, is that we really need to try to improve vaccination for all the vaccine preventable diseases.
Stay connected with City News Kitchener. You will find what's making headlines here at home and around the world. Looking for traffic and weather information plus the latest prices at the pumps? Click on the tabs to find out. Watch, listen, stay connected with City News Kitchener. For more local sports stories, check out 519 Sports Online. Darren Stevenson and his team work to bring our community stories about local athletes. Visit 519sportsonline.ca.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Guelph, the Royal City. Learn about the people, places, organizations, and events that make up your hometown. Join us each and every episode to learn more about Guelph and what's happening in the Royal City.
It's the personal finance show that dares to ask those money questions you've always wanted to. Join Mike Bregueth when he talks with experts on all aspects of money. Money Matters with Mike Bregueth, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Rogers.
Do you like talk radio? Catch a televised simulcast of The Mike Farwell Show. Listen to callers rant or rave. Watch interviews with guests on topics impacting your community. The Mike Farwell Show, weekdays from 10 till noon on Rogers TV.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts, a racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
In sports, an incredible opportunity for the Golden Hawks quarterback showcasing his talents at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. He is the first ever Canadian quarterback invited to this prestigious event. 519 Online Sports caught up with Taylor Elgesma before he left for Alabama.
Blessed to have this opportunity in front of me. I have a lot of, amazing people who have been in my corner and supported me throughout this whole journey, and so a lot of those people are the reason why this whole thing has happened. And so, I'm really thankful for them. I'm really thankful for, my agents, my guys down in Alabama who've been pushing for me and believe in me. And so, my job is just to go in there and showcase myself the best that I can do it. You know, I'm going to be an authentic version of myself. I'm going to, you know, learn. I'm going to grow throughout the week, and I'm going to, you know, commit to, you know, showcasing in front of every single team, you know, who I am as a person and who I am as a player. Playing the American game, there's going to be a learning curve that comes with that, and that's part of the work that I've been doing down in the last couple of weeks in Alabama is mentally preparing. You know, quarterback's an extremely cerebral position, and I have to go down there and showcase that I not only can learn the American game, but I can excel at the American game quickly. And so, you know, I've put in some legwork to kind of get myself off to a little start there. But obviously, it's going to take a lot of effort this week, and that's what I'm excited to do. I love that part of the game. I love that challenge, and so it's something I'm looking forward to. The game is the part that's going to be highlighted the most, but, you know, in scouts' eyes, I think practice is going to be, you know, just as valuable, if not more valuable for them to get to know the type of practice habits you have, the type of player you are, rep after rep, how you respond to coaching, how you can elevate yourself when you're amongst that competition. And so I think the practice days, the interviews, how you conduct yourself in the lobby, all the stuff, like you said, you're always being evaluated, and that's almost more important than the game itself. And so it's a week-long job interview. You know, for me, it's all about just trusting the player and trusting the process. You know, this whole time, I haven't really known how, you know, this offseason was going to look. And then I found out that I got into the CGS, and then I found out that I got into the Tropical. Then I got this news that I was going to the senior. And obviously there's a big jump in competition there, but, you know, my job is just to prepare the same way that I do for everything else. You know, I'm going to be the best version of myself. If I prepare as hard as I can, and I go into the game, and I go into the practice with confidence and trust myself to do what I've been doing the whole time. And so I'm going to learn from the coaches there. You know, being at the Senior Bowl, one of the cool parts is that the coaching staff is unbelievable. It's NFL coaching staff, NFL playbook. So I'm going to soak it all in. I'm going to learn from them, and I'm going to, you know, hopefully develop throughout the week as well. Super cool and super exciting. You know, there's going to be so many schools represented there, and obviously our school hasn't been represented there yet. And so being the first one to be able to do that and put Laurier on that, you know, like you said, NFL Network, American national stage, and showcase what, you know, this program, this culture is all about, the type of people that we develop here. It's something that, you know, I don't take for granted, I don't take lightly. It's something that I'm super excited about, and like you said, I'm going to wear the Golden Hawk with pride.
For more local sports stories, check out 519 Sports Online. Darren Stevenson and his team work to bring our community stories about local athletes. Visit 519sportsonline.ca.
Still ahead, winter's wallop. Tips to help drive safe in unpredictable weather.
Sundays for Pairs is a service that we believe will help you discover more of God's promises and purpose for your life. A reminder that God is for you. Courtesy of Pairs Community Church. Join us every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. on Rogers TV to be encouraged and pointed towards hope.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Monsieur de Champlain, when I finish paddling through this wilderness and reach China, I shall greet them wearing this.
Monsieur Nicolet, your mission shall be for the honor of the king and the Holy Faith.
In the summer of 1634, Jean Nicolet set off from Quebec to find a trade route that would link Europe and North America with China.
But where is it?
Further. I know the place you are seeking.
For months, Nicolet pushed through the wilderness, searching for the Western Sea.
Goja! Mississippi!
What did he say?
He says, Mississippi, great water.
Mississippi, the sea, China.
Jean Nicolet was wrong. It was Lake Michigan, not the Pacific. But others would follow his dream, Joliet, La Salle, the La Vérendrye's, and they would map most of North America from the Rockies to the Gulf of Mexico.
And finally for us, it's been a week of weather advisories, blowing snow, digging out, and messy commutes. Here are some tips to consider before getting behind the wheel.
We look at it from a safety perspective. Winter tires are going to give you that extra braking room. It can help reduce your braking distances by up to 25%. But we realize that it's not in the cards for everyone. And so we really strongly recommend that you really slow down, be alert, remove all distractions possible, be present when you're driving, and give that extra space between you and the driver. And give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination and plenty of time to clear off your vehicle. So during the winter months, visibility is super important. And so it's important to do an inspection around your vehicle to make sure that all of your headlights are working, your signal lights, your tail lights are working, but also inspect your windshield wipers. Technically, you're supposed to replace them every 6 months. I generally recommend that you take a look at them as the seasons change and make sure that they're not cracked or frayed. So the last thing you want is in the middle of a snowstorm or when there's a lot of sleet or slush going around, that you don't have visibility. If one of those windshield wipers goes, you are blind and you will definitely have to call for help. Most of us have experienced some time when the windshield wiper has either stopped working or the rubber was cracked or frayed and it's not really cleaning as well as you'd like. And that can be very dangerous. It's really all about visibility during the winter months. We're all really busy and trying to get to where we're going. And so, at CAA, we always just ask, be kind and courteous to your fellow driver. Not everybody feels comfortable driving in cold, rainy, or snowy conditions. And so if you can let someone merge and have that, neighborly disposition and allow someone to be on the road, I think that is part of the season is do a good thing, be kind to your fellow motorist on the road.
That's our show for this edition of Your Region This Week. Thanks for watching. I'm Anandi Carroll Woolery. See you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Missing your favorite channels? Get them on Rogers Xfinity TV. Now in free preview with Rogers Xfinity TV.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention.